first of all, thank you for reading my blog, or post, what you refer to it as, into the principles of setting up a tent. As I mentioned in the post or the blog, whichever, I'm just going to say blog, keep it simple. As I mentioned before, I spent a lot of time in the stores and strangers and whatnot, trying to get a grip on understanding how to do such, with the different style tents, and if it's basically a cabin setup or just a lightweight backpack. Well, we'll get into those things later on. There'll be more videos for that. Right now we're just looking to the backpacker's version of basic principles of setting up a tent. Some people do this, have spent their entire lives doing tents and all this stuff, and being just like whatever. Other folks, you haven't even seen a tent, so this is for you. Alright. As I mentioned obviously in my post, you need to find a flat area, because you got to think about this where you can put your back. And this is a pretty rocky area, and this is why I like this area, because it's realistic. You watch the TV shows, Survivor Man, Dual Survivor, and the list goes on, everything is almost picturesque. They're the masters of surviving. As I mentioned before, the only difference to me and you is I'm only 2 steps ahead. I'm learning as I go, and it's showing you as I go, saving you hours being in the store, kind of scratch your head and get frustrated because not knowing how to do anything. Well, that's why we're here. Alright, let's clear the area out. Last thing you want is a rock digging you in the back, if it's preventable. Basically, make your bed. Why am I using my feet? Well, in a truly survival situation, you want to conserve as many calories as possible. Move my foot is easier than bending down and having to pick up this. And your foot's so much more efficient. Okay. Nice little area. Now I actually do a lot of backpacking. That's my my preference, if I may. I like to keep things light, I like to keep things compact, I like to keep things efficient. The more I do those 3 things, the easier it is on my back. Got my my hatchet here. Yeah, I could use a rock. But when I have the tool with me, what if there's no rocks around? What if I'm in the swamps? Well, I've always got my plan B just in case I can't use a natural resource. Which you should always do to conserve your own resources, especially when it comes to your knives. If you can use a rock, or part of a tree root, something else for the purpose of the knife. Because your knife is your lifeline. If you lose your knife, you're done. All this bungee cords make my tent a little more compact. I also pull my bag down. Trying to give you an idea what I mean by compact. And of course, it's a good idea in your small items, keep them together. Now, I'll show you a little more something. Everything needs in here. I also have taken the string right here to make it a hell of a lot more compact. It may be a small thing, but the less the items in here move, the less strain on my back. Everything that I got in the box for this tent, everything essentials in here. What I don't need, I still take with me because, well, all kinds of things can have all kinds of different functions. Anywho, had to find where I left off from my little wrap here. Not to mention the fact that just for the fact of having this, making everything more compressed, having rope in the middle around here is invaluable. So now I have an extra rope for boiling water with a plastic bottle if I wanted to. Okay, another small item. Keep everything off of it. In your bag. Last you want to do is pick up camp and you can't find that small key item because you lost it. We'll get to this in a minute. I make mentions in my blog about finding a spot, opening up your tarp and laying it out. Still got me. As I mentioned, we'll get back to this. Careful when you lay it down. Protect the integrity of your shelter. As you can see, I love bags. Bags are a wonderful thing. However organized, efficiency. Now, laying your tarp out. Of course I say, go ahead and stake the tarp. Why is that? Go ahead and stake the tarp down. You already got the tent halfway down as far as the foundation is concerned, and more importantly, when it gets real windy. I only need 4 stakes. I have one for backup. Make mention. Put your sticks firmly in the ground. Pound them all the way in. And you have a slight angle to it. The reality of it. Last but not least, And I'm sure there's plenty of you guys and ladies who are saying, no, you do it like this, no, you do it like that. Well, my friend, just like driving a manual transmission, everyone's got their quirks to make it work, and it all works. Now we got that done. Here is the main body of my tent. Good thing I staked my tarp down already, huh? And I tell you, hit the corners. Go ahead and line them up. I also make mention to have a tarp for the bottom of your tent that's the same or somewhat to the same dimensions as your tent. A lot of reasons for that. A lot of theories and ideas. It's really up to you. You can have a little bigger, you can have the exact same size. Alright, so my tent's laying free, I got it spread out. I haven't staked it down yet. For one, I still got to put the poles in to suck it in. For two, it won't happen fighting basically a monkey in a football analogy. As I mentioned in the blog, take your poles, go ahead and put them all together so that it's virtually one pole. I don't care what kind of tent it is. The last thing you want is you're putting these things in your hooks or envelopes, whatever you want to call them, one little section at a time. Go ahead and lay this respective spot. We'll get to that in a second. And yes, it doesn't take this long to build a tent. It actually goes fairly quickly depending on the tent you buy. They're going through all this narration. That's why we're going into like, what, 15 minutes into this? It actually take you 5 minutes to do this. Maybe 10 tops. So let's load up on that one. Do try to step on your tent if it's avoidable. I got these hooks, just like you see on your shower curtain. Same principle.